Okay, welcome. My name is Janine Swan. I'll be the MC for the next 2 days. And welcome to the Silicon Valley China Wireless Conference, or Mobile Commitments Future of Computing. I would like to introduce you to Shawn Shen. He's our president. And he's also a developer advocate working at Google. He's working on Google Chromecast, and he previously worked on Google TV, Maps, and he also worked at startups focusing on social apps, also worked at Yahoo, Ariba, and eBay. So a round of applause, please, for Shawn.
Thank you. Well, welcome to SVC Wireless 2013 annual conference. And sorry for keeping you guys waiting. We have a great program. A few housekeeping here. This is the Wi-Fi password for this venue here. If you want to get up on the Wi-Fi, and I hope that by the time you have found the restaurant is right outside. And since we're running a little late, I'll get started right away. So, for those of you who don't know anything about SVC Wireless, I'll do a brief intro. It was founded in year 2000, so we've been around in the Valley for a while. We've got over 6,000 members. And so what we do, you may ask, and we do a lot of events, monthly events. Every year we have a big event like this one, and we typically get a few hundred people. And our focus has been, mostly last few years, our focus has been on mobile. Mobile is pretty hot. Historically, we focus on entrepreneurship and also collaboration and networking between the Silicon Valley here and China. So that's our core mission here. And for volunteers, we try to create an environment where people can network and really grow a career and have more fun together. So that's what we have for the last 13 years. So if you are interested in joining us, either in as volunteers or being our sponsors, that would be great. We have team members here later you guys can talk with. So let's just talk a little bit about the conference this year. The theme, the title is Mobile Pivots, Future of Computing. Mobile has been really hot for a few years. And mobile is really a transformative force that's changing the landscape of computing. We've been, for the last 30 years, we've been using the same dominant Wintel system, Windows with Intel. But now we're seeing there's a whole bunch of tablets coming on. The OS is changing. And it's really, really exciting. Once in a lifetime kind of moment. And because of that change, a lot of other things are coming on too. There's the cloud-based computing, there's the big data, in the database world. It's also changing from relational database to a sort of a big table, big data kind of database. So a lot of changing technology stack. It's really, really an exciting time. And computing is also going beyond mobile. We're not just talking about tablets, PC to tablets, but a lot of gadgets with all kinds of connectivity. So, a lot of sensors in healthcare area, in transportation. So we have a whole bunch of panels covering all that. We have 2 mobile panels. We have 1 panel on wearable devices with sensors. We have 2 panels on entrepreneurship, and we have a panel on IP, intellectual property, those kind of things. And we also have an innovation showcase that will highlight a bunch of startups pitching their ideas, and we'll give out some awards at the end. So the time we're at right now is really, in my opinion, it's even bigger than the internet 20 years ago. The internet has changed a lot of things for us, but the mobile revolution now we're seeing is even more competitive, and it's going to create a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities. So, speaking of all the great things happening in the Valley, really a lot of things, great things happening, they owe to the leaders in the tech field. Leaders like Larry Page of Google, which I had the fortune to witness some of the great work that he's been doing. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and Elon Musk of a lot of other companies, I guess, he's got Tesla, but nobody is probably more important than Steve Jobs, because he really created a lot of things for high tech. In particular, the iPhone revolution that has changed the whole landscape of computing. hear from Keith today about a mobile revolution at Silicon Valley. And Steve Jobs is really the visionary that defined computing for the next chapter. I just want to talk a little bit about Apple here and Cupertino. Cupertino, Steve Jobs grew up in this area, and he founded his company and started his company here, and he has Apple really right in the middle here in Cupertino. And today we're privileged and honored to have a special speaker from Cupertino to talk about a little bit about give us a little bit insight story about Apple and Cupertino. Some of you might know that this is what Steve Jobs envisioned what kind of campus that he was going to build. He kind of it was termed as a spaceship landing in Cupertino. So a few years ago, when he was at this here, morning. Oh yeah, can't remember the morning.
And
so it was at a Cupertino City Council meeting where Steve Jobs actually went to the council of Cupertino himself and pitching the idea of building this beautiful campus in Cupertino. So this is a few clips.
And so we've got a plan that lets us stay in Cupertino. And we went out and we bought some land. And what we've done is we bought this land right here.
That's the Highway 280, if you recognize. That's the new campus for Apple.
And the campus we'd like to build there is one building that holds 12,000 people. And it's a pretty amazing building. Let me show it to you. It's a little like a spaceship landing.
And Cupertino is kind of known as the valley for a lot of, because there are a lot of Chinese over there. And that particular spot, actually, right across the street, the Chinese call that a Central Square, Zhongxin Guangzhang. And I have a personal story how important Apple and Cupertino is to the great mass out in China. I was on a business trip back to Beijing, and I was chatting with a girl traveling back from the US back to China. So I was talking with her. I said, "Yeah, what's your reason for coming to the US?" And she said, she was visiting. I said, "What are you visiting?" She was on it to visit Silicon Valley. I said, "What kind of things are you seeing here?" And she said, "Apple." I said, "Really? You just came all the way to see Apple?" And because for me, Apple, they have a campus, they have a building, right? Infinite loop, but there's nothing else to see. But she came all the way to see Apple, to check out the Apple store and buy some. That shows how important Apple is. It's really the mecca for high tech, a lot of people, for the young generation. So Steve Jobs decided to stay at Cupertino, and I think our special guest is Barry Chen from Cupertino. I'm sure he's going to have a few words, a few stories to share with you. What I'm trying to say is that
was clearly the most elegant headquarters, at least in the U.S. that I've seen. So we definitely appreciate the work that's done and really look forward to working with you.
This is a great Steve Jobs.
Thank you. I think we do have a shot at building the best office building in the world. And I really do think architecture students will come here to see this. I think it could be that good. So,
Good. Appreciate it.
yeah, thanks for appreciate it.
Yeah, Mr. Job, thank you very much.
So here comes Mr. Barry, who is the only person who can stand up to Steve Jobs and ask him about the safety issue.
And also carry your campus and see this,
So,
okay.
That's our current.
So then my concern is that last time I forgot to ask Terry about the safety issue, because you have only one building, there's so many people there, so all the safety will be put into consideration, like the fire and everything.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we spend a ton of time identifying and hiring what we think are the best people in the world at doing what we do. The last thing we want is for anybody to get hurt.
Okay.
So, yeah, of course, we're gonna, the whole building has to be designed with pretty precise requirements for safety.
So this is probably one of the very few moments that Steve Jobs himself had to explain something instead of other people explaining to him. And we have Barry here today. So Barry has got a long history in the Valley. He used to be in the army in Taiwan, and he worked on nuclear engineering, nuclear power plant here, and now he's a councilman on Cupertino's city council. Next year he's going to go to Sacramento and shake up the politics over there. So without much further ado, let me introduce Barry here. And then Barry's going to share us some inside stories about
My name is Barry Shen. I'm the Louisiana council member. This is my fourth year. When you see that city council meeting on June 7, 2011, I was really tempted to tell him that, Steve, you're a hypocrite. Because you were so strict on the smoking on campus. I mean, we work in Apple, you cannot smoke inside the building. And even on the campus, if you got caught, someone will get fired. In the meantime, as you know, Cupertino, we have this cement plant that's polluting all the air, right next to Cupertino, just probably less than 2 miles. And so I asked him about the Lehigh Southwest cement plant polluting issue, and then he was dancing around. So I was really tempted to tell him, Steve, you're a hypocrite, But Chinese culture say you respect the elderly, and then when I look at him, at that time, I thought he was older than me because he looks thin, and I know he was sick, so I refrained myself from calling him down, making him look bad. But before he came to the city council, Tim Cook and the CFO had already shown us the city council the plan already. Probably 4 months ahead of time, he invited me and the city manager. We went over there. And it's very interesting. We have been visiting Apple. Pretty much almost every door you have a different code to get in. And then I thought the guy was tied up with the government relationship. The director was to escort us into the building and then escort us to later on I found out this Tim Cook's office. And then he stopped right there. He cannot go in. Even him as a director, he wasn't allowed to get into the building to see the plan. So my guess is at the time when we saw them, this Tim Cook and then the CFO and then the designer, the project manager, only 3 of us show us the plan. And then they told us, please keep it secret as Apple's trade. We always keep everything secret. So we say, fine, we will keep our mouth shut. And then so when Steve showed up at the June 7th council meeting, we know what he's going to talk about. And then I figured out, I got this great chance to ask him about the air pollution, about his double standard on the smoking on campus, and then also why not paying attention outside of the campus, because that affected everybody, including Apple employees. And then that's why, but then, as I say, looking from up, I thought he probably, to be honest with you, when I was on the council seat, I thought he probably had a couple more years to go. I look at his condition, and I know he's ill. I figured out he probably had another 4 or 5 years, but I really did not realize he only had 6 months after June 7th, 6 months later, he's gone. So even with all the money in the world, probably one of the largest corporations in the world, but the money cannot save his life. So sometimes, my suggestion when I talk to my friend, sometimes pay a little attention to your health. Okay, exercise, eat something right, because that's even more important. And then on the mobile device, I got a chance. So that's an Apple. Okay, and we are also negotiating with Apple right now about the campus 2. This project will be the number 2 building in the world, housing so many people in one building. Guess which building is number 1? Can you guess? Pentagon. Who? Oh, Chengdu.
July 1st.
They will have number 1. Oh, okay, all right. We'll find out. So far, what the information I got is Pentagon is number 1, housing more than this building. And this will be the second building. It will be the first building private owned, not by government. But do, I don't know. I'll check it out. Okay, I'll check information. On the mobile device, I'm a trained engineer in civil engineering, so I'm really, Chinese say, you're different field. It's just like you're different side of mountain, right? Good on this side. So I really don't know much about mobile device stuff. But one time I had a privilege, had a meeting with Susan Wojcicki, you know, the Google's VP, senior VP, and she was talking, was very interesting. She said the mobile will be the future. Okay. To a point, even your mobile phone will tell you, you just input your appointment, right, before you just check your calendar to make your appointment. Later on, you're working on, your cell phone will tell you, say, oh, your next appointment is coming up, okay, and your meeting is somewhere, and so you should go now, and you should take which route, because of the traffic condition, you should not go this way, because you will get stuck in the traffic jam, and so you should take the other way. And that's amazing. I mean, to the point that you just input it, say, I have an appointment, say I have a 2 o'clock appointment here at 12 for lunch, right, a couple of days ago, and then, you know, an hour or 45 minutes beforehand, my cell phone will read, will beep, and then tell me, you got to go now, Barry, the other way, and then you should take, you know, not Highway 280, you should take local route, because the Highway 280, there's an accident, and you will get stuck right there, so you should take which route to get in. That's really amazing. As a civil engineer, I really cannot quite understand, but as I said, my position, I have all this opportunity, you know, with all this high-tech people, and learn quite a lot. And then you really think about Apple, Steve Jobs, all he did is at the very beginning is iTunes. Okay. And iTunes, he stole the idea from Sony. So Sony Walker, the small one, right? That was very popular. And he got the idea, then he invented iTunes. And then of course, because of that, Sony, the Walker Talker is gone. And this business is so interesting. If you're not stay on top, you will lose it. Like on the way here, I heard BlackBerry is cutting back the employee and they're losing like $1 billion because they cannot come up with the innovation, the competition. So if you have a great idea, just keep thinking, figure out a great idea, just implement it. You'll be very successful here too. And this Silicon Valley is all the factors there. You have the people, you have the money, you have the best location, best weather. So that's why I have to say. And as I said, I don't know much about the high tech, but I do know the construction side. So, and that's what I'm working on. And now I'm in the real estate, and I'm working to run for state assembly next year to hopefully improve the traffic condition in the region, because as you know, Highway 85 is really bad. So hopefully we'll get that solved, and then also put more money in education. That's the two most important issues from my point of view, and I'm going to work on it. And those of you who work with me know, when I say it, I mean it. I always try to keep my promise to the best. And so, if you know anybody, want to vote for me in the District 28, Assembly District 28, Cabo Cupertino, Saratoga, Los Gatos, Montesorino, Campbell, and then on the west side of the city to Willow Glen, Cameron, Howard Valley. So that's it, District 28. My election is June 2014. Thank you very much.
Well, you certainly have my vote. Okay, reflecting back on what Shawn was talking about, how a student came over from China wanting to visit Apple. I work for a company based in Taiwan, and my engineering team is there. And it's just hysterical when I tell them, oh, I'm going to stop by Apple to meet with Shawn, or I'm going to go to Google, and I'm sorry, Shawn. I'm going to go to stop by Google to visit him, or go to Apple. It is such a big thrill for them. What is it like? So here they are, all trying to fly over here just so I can take them on a tour of Silicon Valley. And it's just truly inspiring, just to see the looks on their faces when they do come here and they visit all the campuses. So I just love that story Shawn shared with us.